Biochemically, I understand why white people can't stand us. Because I can reproduce you out of existence. You see that? I understand segregation for white people. If I let you move amongst me and reproduce with my women, you will kill us off. There will be no more white folks.
Literally, yeah.
Because we are genetically recessive. So I understood the racism, but I won't condone the tactics that they employed in order to protect themselves. The lynchings, the killings, the beatings, the
indoctrination,
denial of opportunity. That's unacceptable. I understand you want to keep yourself to yourself. Because you see, the white man can only reproduce with a white woman. He can't reproduce with no other woman.
And the definition of white is extremely narrow.
Exactly.
Well, every white person in this room who wants to be treated the way we have treated people of color in this country, if you'd like to be treated that way, all you white folks, if you want that for the rest of your life, please stand. Did you understand the directions? If you're white and you think blacks have got it so good in this country and you want to be treated the way they have been for the rest of your life, just stand up. You know why you aren't standing. You know it's ugly, and you know it's happening, and you know you don't want it to happen to you. So I want to know why you're so willing to allow it for others.
Black people are an obsession. The world is obsessed with us. It was never hate. It's always been envy. It's always been envy. It was never hate. We thought it was hate this whole time. They don't hate us. They envy us. They want everything we have. They want to be us. They want our demeanor, our swag, our lingo, our abilities, our intellectuality. They want our brain power. Believe it or not, they've convinced us that black people can't read. Black people usually are the dumber ones in the classroom, whatever the case may be. But honestly, that's not true. And a lot of black people have gone on to believe that. So, you know, when you believe that, you don't even try sometimes. That's a whole nother conversation. But they've put certain things not only in black people's minds, but in other people of color's minds around the world. So not only do white people envy us, but other people of color envy us, and then they pass it off as hate, and they discriminate against us and all of that, but do everything that we do. They want to talk like us, they want to walk like us, dance like us, copy our music style, K-pop. You get what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I don't have any hate for none of these people, but my thing is, it's so weird that y'all act like we're the scum of the earth, but copy our every single move, from the way we speak, to music, to fashion, to everything. The fashion world, these big fashion houses, guess what they get their inspiration from? The ghetto, the hood, the streets, hip hop. You get what I'm saying? They get it from all types of black people from every end of the spectrum. They don't actually hate us. Because when you hate somebody and you feel like you're better than somebody or a group of people, you don't copy what they do. You don't mimic what they do. You get what I'm saying? You don't even engage in stuff that's of their culture, of their lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? So it's not hate, it's envy. Y'all ever been in school, and especially when you was younger, and kids would be like, I don't like you, or I don't like her because, and they never have a real explanation. They just say because, and then now y'all fighting and y'all beefing in elementary school, middle school for no reason, when really the basis of that is envy. They want something you have. They want to be you. They want to look like you, whatever the case may be. On a larger scale, that's the rest of the world to black people. And more specifically, I'm going to be honest, more specifically, black Americans. That may be a whole nother conversation. And don't get me wrong, black Americans obviously get a lot of stuff directly from Africa. I mean, because we're originally from Africa, so our ways we're literally African American. You know what I'm saying? It's African based regardless, right? But you know what? That's a whole other TikTok. The message I want to send to all my fellow black people out there is, if you ever feel the effects of racism and it kind of gets into your head and makes you subconsciously feel like you are less than, or you feel like, damn, I'm hated because I'm black, or, you know, me and my people are hated or looked down on, or looked at like we're just the scum of the earth and we're just bad people by nature or something, remember that it's the total opposite. These people worship us. Honestly, they do. They fake like they don't. They pretend like they hate us, but they copy everything we do. They worship us. They want to be us. We lead them. We lead the pack. We lead the trend in everything. You get what I'm saying? So remember to walk with your head high. I'm not trying to get deep in all that, but to be honest, I need y'all to remember to walk with your head high as a black person, because you literally are what everybody wants to be. You get what I'm saying? And the proof is online. The proof is out in the world. The proof is in everyday life. I'm not just making this shit up. They want to be us. So don't let them get in your head and make them think that they think they're better than you. Because they don't think that, they know they're not better than you, but they want you to think that, so you don't know who you are and what you have and what we are as black people. You get what I'm saying?
Blacks dominate because they were bred for strength.
Because this goes back all the way to the Civil War, when during the slave trading, the slave owner would breed his big black to his big woman, so that he could have a big black kid. See, the black is a better athlete to begin with because he's been bred to be that way, because of his high thighs and big thighs that goes up into his back, and they can jump higher and run faster because of their bigger thighs, you see.
Just how bad were those remarks? Fans here at Boston Garden have mixed feelings.
Well, the part about breeding of blacks and all, sure, that went on in the old days. But I don't think he meant it necessarily in a racist bias sense.
I don't think he ever thought malice. I don't think he thought he was doing anything wrong, but I don't think he's the kind of guy that should be on network television.
That was way out of line. I mean, you can't compare two athletes by their color. You have to compare them by their skill.
For me, I would never have said it.
But there is something of a backlash brewing here. Even Jesse Jackson defended Snyder. Unlike the remarks of the Dodgers' Al Campanis last year, some think Snyder wasn't condoning racism, merely pointing out a plain truth about pro sports. Whites manage, blacks play.
I kind of agreed with his statement partly, you know, the better athletes. I mean, you look out there today, that's all you see.
His comment about the breeding, of course, is ridiculous and has no truth to it all. The fact of the matter is, the population in the United States is about 11% black, and you look at the number of black players in the NBA, and it's about 90%. So there's a lot of truth in the fact that black players are dominant.
I think the real reason that white people, well, some white people get upset or like don't understand when they see black people in spaces that they're in, or black people in positions of authority or advancing and things like that, the reason that they relate it to like, well, it must be like you're getting something that you're not qualified for, like it is racism, but there's another underlying part of that, and it really boils down to the fact that they can't fathom a reality where you advance in life, where you get a position, where you move up at all without stealing something or stepping on somebody or exploiting somebody. They can't, in their brain, they don't have any recall within their collective history of any time period where they've been able to build without stealing or massacring or doing something to somebody else. So like when they see another group of people, whether that be black people or POC, in positions that they feel like, well, no, that's my position. And when they see them, they think that, well, you couldn't have got it any other way besides taking it from somebody and like stealing it. There's no way you actually worked for it, because in their history and present day, they don't have, even within the country itself, standing up the United States, they don't have any like precedent of like existing, like moving up, like building without taking something from somebody, without stealing. Like they have no creativity in their mind. Well, not even creativity, they have no recall and lack the imagination to imagine that being a possibility. So when they see a black person or a POC in spaces and things like that, it's got to be the DEI thing, even though it don't make sense. That's the only thing they have in their brain. It's like the only way you able to make it, the only way I know you make it in this world is by stealing stuff and like, you know, exploiting and like taking things away from people that belong to them. Take things, and that's it. That's all they got. So yeah, it's the racism, of course, but it's also, there's another part of that psychologically where they just don't have the recall. There's no precedent set yet, and they refuse, I don't know, to set a precedent where they can, you know, advance, evolve without exploiting or stealing from other people across the globe and right next door, you know. So that's it. They just can't understand in their brain and just don't connect. Like, how were you able to make it as a black person? And then to look at a black person and know like black people's history of subjugation and oppression, and then see you actually moving, they're like, no, there's absolutely no how you fucking doing that. Blows their brain. So they had to come up with something, and the only thing they come up is what they were able to do since the beginning of days. And by the way, yes, that is stealing from other people, taking all the things, culture, resources, land. That's it. That's all they have, unfortunately for them, because eventually you keep resting on the fact you got to steal while other people making advancements on their own, pulling their own selves up by the bootstraps, even without fucking boots, making the boots themselves. Come a day where you don't even know how to make boots. You know how to do anything. Okay, y'all have a great day.
One topic that baffles me is the white people's obsession with black people. Some of it goes back to the fact that they don't see us as fully human. Because for all of enslavement and even past that time, 3/5 human and all these things, we were seen as property. Just a taskmaster, a do-boy, a do-girl, some other, we almost like livestock. And so some of that I feel has permeated the psyche of those that descend from people that were enslavers. And some people that, because not all white people's lineage, like not all white people come from people that actually had the money or means to own people, but they acted in overseer positions. Best believe that they participated in the oppression of us, of our people. And I started digging into it because yesterday I kept seeing pop up on my timeline white people attempting to co-opt the word black fatigue to say they are tired of the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. When essentially black fatigue is what we experience just dealing with the systems and the day-to-day existing within this place that we find ourselves. The same way they took woke. They trying to take black fatigue, but we're not going for that. We're going to continue to tell the truth about that terminology. But I asked AI, and I hate AI, but I asked AI, why are white people obsessed with black people? And it responded as the people that actually programmed AI, because this is what it said. The query expresses a harmful stereotype and generalization suggesting that white people are obsessed with black people. But ChatGPT and OpenAI and all those things have been found to have racist perceptions because of the people that they only are able to pull the information as what's been presented to them, and the vast majority have been programmed by those. But so they see us as things versus as people, right? They feel they know better than us, and the constant surveillance because they were pointing finger telling us what to do back then, they feel like they still know more than us or better than us how we need to conduct ourselves in life. They don't want us to occupy spaces that are above the stations that they feel that we should occupy. Thus, all this talk around DEI and meritocracy, which is nonsensical. Let's be very fucking clear. But they want us in a subservient. It's about maintenance of social hierarchy. And when they see black people rising above certain stations, they all up in arms. But my thing, and not only that, the implicit bias, and then they threatened by black joy and all these things.
After watching this video with you guys, one thing became very clear to me. There are still people out here who are genuinely believing that white supremacy should exist forever. And they are getting uncomfortable because black people are no longer staying silent. That's really what the whole conversation just exposed. The moment I heard somebody say white people are better and black culture is just a gang culture, I already knew where this was going. Statements like these completely ignore history. They ignore oppression, ignore segregation, ignore the fact that black communities were intentionally held back for centuries and generations. You cannot create unfair systems for hundreds of years and then mock the damage those systems cause. This makes no sense, guys. What stood out to me is that most of the many people who pushed back against that mindset, black voices in this video, were tired, frustrated, but also confident. They are no longer explaining themselves in ways that beg for acceptance. They are defending their dignity and their honesty. And I understand why. For too long, black people have to prove their humanity, their intelligence, and their worth while constantly being stereotyped. Another thing I noticed is that some people feel threatened anytime black people become more aware of their rights. their power, and their influence. The second black people stop tolerating disrespect, suddenly they are called aggressive or dangerous. But what I see is people finally refusing to be treated as less of a human. And let's be honest here, guys, black culture has contributed massively to America and to the world. Music, sports, fashion, art, science, activism, entertainment, technology, black influences everywhere. And even the same people criticizing black culture often benefit from it every single day. So, hearing someone reduce millions of people to a negative stereotype is just absolutely ignorant. What also hit me is how social media changed everything. Back then, people could say racist things behind closed doors without accountability. Now, the whole world sees it instantly. Black people are recording, responding, educating, and defending themselves publicly. The shift is making some people uncomfortable because the old system of silence doesn't work anymore. At the same time, I think anger is growing on all sides because these conversations are deeply emotional. Race has always been tied to power in America, and whenever power feels challenged, people react strongly. But personally, I don't think equality should threaten anyone. Wanting respect and fairness should not be too controversial to ask. My biggest takeaway from this video is simple. Black people are tired of being told to wait, stay quiet, or accept disrespect. This generation is different. People are more informed, more connected, and more willing to challenge all these racial insults openly instead of pretending it doesn't exist. Whether people like it or not, the conversation is changing, and black voices are no longer asking for permission to be heard. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. See you on the next one.